The rise of the Sultanate of Sulu, a tale of diplomacy and power. In the early 15th century, the archipelago that would later become the Philippines was a mosaic of independent polities, each with its own culture, leadership, and way of life. It was a time of flux, with trade routes crisscrossing the seas, bringing with them not just goods, but ideas, religions, and ambitions. This is the backdrop against which the Sultanate of Sulu was born, a tale woven from the threads of diplomacy, conquest, and vision. Chapter 1: The arrival of Sharif ul-Hāshim. In 1405, the island of Jolo, part of the Sulu archipelago, was abuzz with excitement. A ship had arrived from the west, carrying with it a man who would change the course of its history. This man was Sharif ul-Hāshim, a scholar, diplomat, and descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. His journey to Sulu was not merely a voyage, it was a mission to spread Islam and establish a new order. Sharif ul-Hāshim's journey to Sulu began long before he set sail. Born in the heartlands of Arabia, he was educated in the rich traditions of Islamic scholarship. His lineage, tracing back to the Prophet Muhammad, imbued him with a sense of purpose and a vision to bring the message of Islam to distant lands. The call to spread faith and knowledge resonated deeply within him, and he set out on his mission with a group of loyal followers. The voyage was perilous, fraught with the dangers of the sea and the unknown territories that lay ahead. But Sharif ul-Hāshim's resolve was unwavering. Guided by faith and driven by a vision of a united and prosperous Muslim community, he navigated through the waters, his eyes set on the horizon and the promise it held. Upon his arrival, Sharif ul-Hāshim was greeted by Raja Bagwinda, the local ruler of Jolo. Recognizing the potential of aligning with a man of such stature, Raja Bagwinda welcomed Sharif ul-Hāshim into his court. The Sharif's knowledge of governance, religion, and diplomacy quickly won him respect and admiration. His teachings resonated with the local populace, who began to convert to Islam in significant numbers. Sharif ul-Hāshim's presence in Jolo marked the beginning of a new era. His charisma, wisdom, and diplomatic acumen endeared him to the people and the ruling elite. He engaged in dialogue with the local leaders, sharing his vision of a unified Islamic state. His message of faith, justice, and prosperity struck a chord with many, laying the groundwork for the establishment of the Sultanate. Chapter 2: The founding of a Sultanate. Sharif ul-Hāshim's influence grew, and with it, the idea of unifying the various datus, chieftains, under a single banner began to take shape. Through strategic marriages and alliances, he strengthened his position. One of his most significant moves was his marriage to Paramishilai, the daughter of Raja Bagwinda, solidifying his claim and consolidating his power. In 1405, Sharif ul-Hāshim declared the establishment of the Sultanate of Sulu. He took the title of Sultan, signifying his dual role as both the political and religious leader of the newly formed state. The Sultanate was not just a political entity, it was a beacon of Islamic culture and governance in the region. Sharif ul-Hāshim's vision was clear: to create a state that would thrive on the principles of justice, faith, and prosperity. The declaration of the Sultanate was a momentous occasion. The ceremony was held in the Grand Mosque of Jolo, attended by local leaders, scholars, and the people of the archipelago. As Sharif ul-Hāshim proclaimed himself Sultan, he outlined his vision for the Sultanate, a state founded on the principles of Islamic governance, justice, and unity. The crowd erupted in applause, their cheers echoing through the halls of the mosque and across the island. The establishment of the Sultanate marked the beginning of a new chapter in the history of the region. The Sultanate of Sulu became a symbol of Islamic culture and governance, its influence extending beyond the borders of the archipelago. The Sultan's vision of a just and prosperous state guided his policies and actions, laying the foundations for a thriving and enduring state. Chapter 3: The expansion and consolidation. The early years of the Sultanate were marked by efforts to consolidate power and expand influence. Sultan Sharif ul-Hāshim embarked on a series of diplomatic missions to neighboring islands and polities. He forged alliances through treaties, marriages, and trade agreements. The Sultanate's strategic location along major trade routes made it a hub of commerce, attracting traders from China, India, Arabia, and beyond. Sultan Sharif ul-Hāshim's diplomatic skills were put to the test as he navigated the complex web of alliances and rivalries in the region. He understood that the strength of the Sultanate lay not just in its military might, but in its ability to build strong and lasting relationships with neighboring states. He sent envoys to the courts of neighboring rulers, offering gifts and forging alliances through marriage and trade. One of the key alliances was with the Sultanate of Brunei, a powerful maritime state to the south. The marriage of Sultan Sharif ul-Hāshim's daughter to a Bruneian prince cemented this alliance, bringing the two states closer together. This alliance not only strengthened the Sultanate's position in the region, but also facilitated trade and cultural exchange between the two states. However, the path to stability was not without challenges. Some local dators resisted the centralization of power, preferring their autonomy. Sultan Sharif ul-Hāshim employed a mix of diplomacy and military might to bring these dissenters into the fold. Battles were fought, and territories were won, but always with the goal of strengthening the Sultanate's unity. One of the most significant challenges came from the island of Mindanao, where a powerful Datu refused to recognize the authority of the Sultanate. Sultan Sharif ul-Hāshim led a military expedition to Mindanao, engaging in a series of battles with the rebellious Datu's forces. The conflict was fierce, but the Sultan's strategic acumen and the loyalty of his followers eventually led to victory. The rebellious Datu was brought to Jolo, where he pledged allegiance to the Sultanate, marking the end of the conflict and the beginning of a new era of unity and cooperation. The consolidation of power and the expansion of influence were not just about military conquests, they were also about building a state that could endure the test of time. Sultan Sharif ul-Hāshim established a system of governance based on Islamic principles, with a strong emphasis on justice, education, and economic prosperity. He built schools and mosques, promoted trade and commerce, and ensured that the people of the Sultanate had access to the resources they needed to thrive. Chapter 4: The Golden Age. By the mid-15th century, the Sultanate of Sulu had entered a golden age. Sultan Sharif ul-Hāshim's successors continued his legacy of wise governance and strategic expansion. Under their rule, the Sultanate's influence extended beyond the Sulu archipelago, reaching parts of Mindanao and the northern coast of Borneo. The Sultanate became renowned for its vibrant culture, which blended local traditions with Islamic influences. Mosques and schools flourished, and the arts and sciences were encouraged. The court of the Sultanate was a place where scholars, poets, and artisans from various cultures converged, creating a rich tapestry of intellectual and artistic achievement. The golden age of the Sultanate was marked by a flourishing of the arts and sciences. The court of the Sultanate became a center of learning and culture, attracting scholars, poets, and artists from across the region and beyond. The Sultanate's libraries were filled with manuscripts on theology, philosophy, science, and literature, and its schools were renowned for their rigorous curriculum and distinguished faculty. One of the most notable figures of this period was Sultan Sharif ul-Hāshim's grandson, Sultan Kamal-ud-Din. A patron of the arts and sciences, Sultan Kamal-ud-Din supported the work of scholars and artists, encouraging them to explore new ideas and push the boundaries of their disciplines. Under his patronage, the court of the Sultanate became a vibrant hub of intellectual and artistic activity. Trade continued to be the lifeblood of the Sultanate. The bustling markets of Jolo were filled with goods from all over the known world: silk from China, spices from the Moluccas, gems from India, and horses from Arabia. This wealth funded the construction of impressive structures, including the Grand Mosque that stood as a symbol of the Sultanate's faith and power. The Sultanate's prosperity was also reflected in its infrastructure. The Grand Mosque of Jolo, built during Sultan Kamal-ud-Din's reign, was a masterpiece of Islamic architecture, its minarets and domes towering over the city. The mosque was not just a place of worship, it was a symbol of the Sultanate's faith, power, and cultural achievement. Its construction was a testament to the wealth and resources of the Sultanate, and it became a center of religious and cultural life for the people of Sulu. The Sultanate's influence extended beyond its borders, as its leaders continued to forge alliances and build relationships with neighboring states. The marriage of Sultan Kamal-ud-Din's daughter to the Sultan of Maguindana strengthened the ties between the two states, fostering cooperation and mutual support. The Sultanate's diplomatic efforts ensured that it remained a significant player in the region, its influence and power recognized by all. Chapter 5: Challenges and Resilience. Despite its prosperity, the Sultanate faced external threats. The arrival of European colonizers in the region brought new challenges. The Spanish, in their quest to spread Christianity and expand their empire, saw the Sultanate of Sulu as a target. They launched several expeditions to subjugate the Sultanate, but each time, the Sulu warriors repelled them with fierce resistance. The first encounter with the Spanish occurred in the early 16th century, when a Spanish expedition led by Miguel López de Legazpi arrived in the Philippines. The Spanish were determined to conquer the archipelago and spread Christianity, but they quickly encountered resistance from the local rulers, including the Sultanate of Sulu. The Sulu warriors, known for their bravery and skill in battle, fiercely defended their homeland, repelling the Spanish forces and forcing them to retreat. The resilience of the Sultanate was not just a matter of military might, it was also a testament to the unity and determination of its people. The Sulu Sultanate became a symbol of resistance against colonialism, its leaders rallying their people with the promise of freedom and sovereignty. The Spanish launched several more expeditions to subjugate the Sultanate, but each time, they were met with fierce resistance. The Sulu warriors, armed with traditional weapons and guided by their leaders' strategic acumen, fought valiantly to defend their homeland. The battles were brutal and the casualties high, but the determination of the Sulu people never wavered. They were fighting not just for their land, but for their way of life, their culture, and their freedom. The resilience of the Sultanate was also evident in its ability to adapt and innovate. The Sulu leaders understood that they needed to strengthen their defenses and modernize their military capabilities to withstand the Spanish onslaught. They forged alliances with other Muslim states in the region, securing support and resources. They also adopted new tactics and technologies, enhancing their ability to defend their homeland. Chapter 6: Legacy of Sharif ul-Hāshim. As the years passed, the Sultanate of Sulu evolved, but the legacy of Sharif ul-Hāshim remained a guiding light. His establishment of the Sultanate laid the foundation for a state that would endure for centuries. The principles of governance, faith, and diplomacy that he instilled continued to influence the Sultanate's rulers long after his time. Sharif ul-Hāshim's story is a testament to the power of vision and leadership. His ability to unify disparate groups, establish a strong and just government, and navigate the complexities of diplomacy and trade set a standard for future leaders. The Sultanate of Sulu, with its rich history and cultural heritage, stands as a reminder of the enduring legacy of a leader who dared to dream and transform those dreams into reality. The legacy of Sharif ul-Hāshim is evident in the continued strength and resilience of the Sultanate. His vision of a united and prosperous Islamic state guided the actions of his successors, ensuring that the Sultanate remained a significant player in the region. The principles of governance, justice, and faith that he instilled became the foundation upon which the Sultanate was built, guiding its leaders through times of prosperity and adversity. Sharif ul-Hāshim's legacy is also reflected in the cultural and intellectual achievements of the Sultanate. The flourishing of the arts and sciences, the construction of grand mosques and schools, and the promotion of trade and commerce were all a testament to his vision of a prosperous and enlightened state. His emphasis on education and knowledge ensured that the Sultanate remained a center of learning and culture, attracting scholars and artists from across the region. Chapter 7: The Enduring Influence. Today, the legacy of the Sultanate of Sulu is celebrated in the cultural and historical consciousness of the Philippines and beyond. The story of Sharif ul-Hāshim and the Sultanate he established is a source of pride and inspiration. It serves as a reminder of the region's rich history, its resilience in the face of adversity, and the enduring power of visionary leadership. The Sultanate's influence can still be felt in the traditions, customs, and beliefs of the people of Sulu. The fusion of local and Islamic cultures that began under Sharif ul-Hāshim continues to thrive, a testament to the enduring impact of his vision. The Sultanate of Sulu, with its history of diplomacy, trade, and resistance, remains a symbol of the strength and unity of the Filipino people. The legacy of Sharif ul-Hāshim is also evident in the continued importance of Islam in the region. The spread of Islam in the Philippines, which began with Sharif ul-Hāshim's mission, has left an indelible mark on the culture and identity of the people. The principles of faith, justice, and unity that he championed continue to guide the lives of the people of Sulu, reflecting the enduring influence of his vision. Epilogue: Reflections on the Sultanate's enduring influence. As we reflect on the history of the Sultanate of Sulu, we are reminded of the power of vision and leadership. Sharif ul-Hāshim's journey to Sulu, his establishment of the Sultanate, and his legacy of governance, faith, and diplomacy are a testament to the enduring impact of a leader who dared to dream and transform those dreams into reality. The story of the Sultanate of Sulu is not just a tale of conquest and power, it is a story of unity, resilience, and cultural achievement. It is a story of a people who, guided by their leader's vision, built a state that thrived on the principles of justice, faith, and prosperity. It is a story that continues to inspire and guide us, reminding us that with vision and determination, we can create a future that honors our past and shapes our destiny. As we look to the future, we can draw inspiration from the legacy of Sharif ul-Hāshim and the Sultanate of Sulu. The principles of governance, justice, and faith that he championed continue to guide us, reminding us of the enduring power of visionary leadership. The Sultanate's history of diplomacy, trade, and resistance serves as a reminder of the strength and unity of the Filipino people, and its cultural and intellectual achievements inspire us to continue striving for excellence. The story of the Sultanate of Sulu is a story of hope and inspiration, a testament to the enduring power of vision and leadership. It is a story that reminds us of our rich history, our resilience in the face of adversity, and our ability to create a future that honors our past and shapes our destiny. As we reflect on this history, let us be inspired by the legacy of Sharif ul-Hāshim and the Sultanate of Sulu, and let us continue to build a future that is guided by the principles of justice, faith, and unity.